Halfway through sanding what must be 13 million alien vertebrae, I decided to take a break to work on a less monotonous project.
Why did I choose chainmail?
So I took a break from that to make an Among Us dead crewmate lawn decoration for Halloween, because I think that's literally like a 30-minute side build. That's something that my brain won't melt doing. To sort of imply that it's, you know, chopped in half, I'm gonna do this kind of tree ring pattern. Now they do make red foam, but the irony is I used it all up making the Harley Quinn mallet, which, you know, check out that tutorial if you want. So I'm gonna do the next best thing, which is use beige, which actually I think I can use as sort of the exterior, you know, skin, just to add a teeny tiny little bit more detail. Next you're gonna need some bones, which I have conveniently left over from people. Kidding, a person. Oh, that was really corny. These were harvested for the Xenomorph project, and I think, did I do a Mad Max project? Yeah, I did a Mad Max project. Various projects. Initially I was thinking femur, but that doesn't really make sense. That'd be more off to the side. So I'm actually gonna flip it around. Actually, here's a slightly more realistic looking one. Yeah, look at that. I already have one that's cut up from the other half of the Mad Max prop. So, conservation of scraps. You can get these in hardware stores or really any retailer as of recording this in the weeks leading up to Halloween. But in my experience, Five Below is the cheapest because they're Five Below. Five Below, please sponsor me. Oh, seriously though, if you get the big old bag of bones, there is a spinal cord in there. So if you're going for realism, you know, that'll go a long way. I just already used it on a Giger-esque costume. I drew a rough oval onto the floor mat. So I don't know if those dimensions are right, but it's a risk I'm apparently willing to take. I don't know. I haven't used this foam in years, so am I really risking anything? And that's how he died. I pressed the bone into the foam to leave a temporary impression. Press that in just a little bit. That's sort of my stencil line. Is that good enough for product placement? I cut that out with a razor pen. Cutting slightly on the interior of this, just so the tension holds it in place. There we go. Now I would like to just put all the detail here, but I really got to figure out what the outside perimeter of this is going to be before I do that. Otherwise it's going to look kind of off. So what you want to do is grab a pair of blue pants, or whatever color crewmate you're using, preferably sweatpants. Turn them inside out, tie a knot in the legs around the knee, then turn them right side out and stuff it. Actually, it was the one that I was wearing in the Among Us spacesuit build for the no arms gag. Just a blue morph suit in front of a blue screen. Super simple effect. All right, now you want to stuff that. Actually, real quick, let me see if I can do a test fitting. That's hilarious. That totally works. I can't believe that. I'm gonna want to take it in a little bit, just a little bit, for symmetry, but the more mass the better, because the characters are kind of fatly designed and you do want the tension. All right, then you want to stuff it with newspaper. Gotta be careful about this because it's like silk. You can easily unravel it. Okay, so I've got pretty much a whole leg filled, and I'm noticing that this is actually way longer than the characters. They're not quite human shaped, so I'm gonna undo this and retie the ankle at, well, pretty much at the knee. And just because that was going to be a long, frustrating process, I went back to work on the severed torso part. Keep wanting to call it an end cap. Kinda is. I used my rotary tool to put some detail in it. If the Harley mallet detail was more to your liking, I accomplished that look simply by cutting the foam about halfway deep with the razor pen and then hitting that with my heat gun, which causes the seams to open up a bit. When I was done with the drum sanding, I painted it with red acrylic paint from Miclays. I'm actually in the process of transitioning my painting styles from acrylic art store paint to acrylic house paint. It's just been my experience that you get much more coverage for your dollar. But I have to use up my stock paint first, and this seemed like a good project to do that on. I love how that turned out. Gonna let that dry overnight. Now that it's dry, we can attach it. Just realized I have stuffing! Like, actually look around the workshop, making this harder than it needs to be. Don't be the villain of a cake song. I stuffed the dummy legs and then inserted the gore panel, that's a good name for that, and then set it outside to disturb all of the neighbors. Maybe set this up closer to Halloween. Hey, thanks for watching, everyone. This video is decidedly less complex than my normal content. It's really more of a mini DIY, so this is gonna be a freebie for the patrons. Those are the people scrolling by right now. If you feel like joining them so that I can make more complex projects, looks like the alien and spacesuits, then you can follow the link in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video but aren't able to support me, then you can subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of future uploads, because I mean, when has a YouTuber ever been able to keep a schedule, am I right? And because the aforementioned aliens and space helmets take a long time to make, until then you can check out any of the 200 prop tutorials that I have on this channel. It's probably over 200 by now. It's tough for me to tell because there's like 300 and something uploads, but a lot of them were sketches. Oh wait a minute, I can just check the playlist. What am I doing? So, thanks again for watching, happy crafting, see you later.